Guidance in a world of uncertainty. Within our universe, a mighty star shines bright over us and reflects itself to enlighten our darkness. It is from that star that our very molecules are born, boundless and bright. That mighty star commands a universe of stars that bear witness to our history and are attached to our ideas of the future. In these stars, we find our beginnings. In these stars, we learn of our endings. Guidance in a world of uncertainty. Within our universe, a mighty star shines bright over us and reflects itself to enlighten our darkness.
Well, I'll be damned. Here we are again with another In the Stars with Dwayne, a mashup with Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive. Um, I don't know if you guys can hear me right now or see me.
We have
We
more
can hear you.
intro.
We can hear you.
Now it says I'm on stage. There we are. Welcome to
We
In the
can hear
Stars.
you. Dwight, I swear to God, Stacy, I've been telling you this for a year. It's a delay. So when I say you're on, just start talking.
No, when I started talking, it still went going and on and on and
Yes.
on. Didn't it,
You have,
Stacy?
you have to ignore that. I don't know how many times to tell you.
I was
I
trying.
didn't know that either. So, Dwayne, I didn't know that either.
Well, once again, Keone has been
No, well, the
thwarted.
reason why Stacy doesn't know is because when we were doing this, when I'd say 3, 2, 1, you're on, she would just start talking, and you always got to look at stuff.
Can you believe him? Is he like a prickly little cactus or what? Talk about going to Arizona. Well, anybody, anyway,
Anybody?
anybody. Hey, Betty's.
We're starting off the show right today. Oh
Yeah, well,
boy,
you know,
people are in
I
for quite a treat.
yeah, I just got back from vacation. You're planning a move. Keone's in a bad mood.
Well, hold on.
Practice.
I'm going to tell you why I'm in a bad mood because Facebook is a jerk. All right.
Yeah.
So the live is on your Facebook, but it won't connect. So everyone on Facebook is watching right now and they can comment on Facebook, but the comments aren't coming in here. So I have to look at the Facebook screen to see if someone says something and then relay it on here.
Well, it is the very last day of Mercury retrograde.
You know what, Stacy? You go to hell.
Retrograde is just going to give you that extra little oomph to
No.
because retrograde knows how much you love it.
No, Stacy, you go to hell. And I'm going to tell you why you go to hell. I've been working with you for 2.5 years, and every excuse every week is Mercury retrograde.
Because we're always in one.
Yeah. It's true. There's a lot of retrogrades.
Yes. And the Mercury I mean, there are like every planet retrogrades, but Mercury in particular, I mean, it hits me doubly so because I've got two planets that are ruled by it. So, or positions or whatever that are ruled by
Yeah.
it. So I feel it extra.
Gemini.
But yeah,
Yeah.
today is the last day. So I think we're just getting the final kick at the can before we move into our shadow phase.
I can feel it. It's going to be so good. It's going to be such a great month coming up because September is, of course, Virgo and Libra. Virgo being categorically kind of organized and very in tune with being critical and all that stuff. And I think that's what we kind of need right now after the summer to kind of like pull crap together and see what we need to do and get it all ready. And then Libra, toward the end of the month, that's love and beauty and elegance. And I mean, who couldn't use some of that?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's going to be a great time this month. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun. Despite the fact that I know you're going through hell with your move.
It's actually not hell. It really isn't. It's just, it's exhausting. I'm making this move, basically completely by myself. I've got my mom helping me with the fur babies to move the fur babies. We're going to fly to Phoenix, but it's just, downsizing from a 4-bedroom home into a 2-bedroom home, deciding what I'm going to take, what I'm going to give away, what I'm going to sell, how
Isn't
I'm
that
going to deal with
funny?
all
And you're a
that.
Virgo, and it's the time of Virgo, and you're categorizing, organizing,
Yes.
labeling. Like that is, it's all up your alley.
And
So,
I love being in that space,
yeah.
and I've had to multitask. There has not been like a single day where all I
Yeah.
had to do was just focus on one thing. It's always like, okay, well, I've got to fit this in with clients, and then I've got, a couple of hours to pack a couple of boxes, and I've got clients again, then I've got an evening, event, and then I've got to come back and pack more, boxes, and I've got to fill out this paperwork and that paperwork. I'm so
So much to do, right?
yes, I'm happy and I'm excited and I'm not complaining. I'm just acknowledging that I'm tired. And the Aquarius full moon, Dwayne, it kicked my ass. Like I had to have a nap
Yeah.
every single day from I think it started the day before the full moon
Hmm.
until Monday, just a
Yeah.
couple of days ago. I had to have a nap every single day. It was to the point where like my body was like shutting me down, and I'm like I have no choice but to fall asleep. It's
That's that
crazy.
friggin' Aquarius. It's like so many things have happened over this last couple of weeks. Astrologically, moon phases, retrogrades, and it's mind blowing. But that's why it's going to be really good, I think, now because everything's just going to slow down. Everything's going to go back to kind of like a routine if you have one, and if
Yeah.
you're going to start to build one, and
Yeah.
it's going to be nice. So, what else is going on?
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Ooh,
we have a call.
awesome.
Yes, we have Margaret Bennett who's watching us on Stacy's Facebook that
Ooh.
says she would like a reading. But what we're going to do for her, since she's first, she doesn't know. When you're first, you get both. So while Stacy's giving her a reading, I'll get her information so that Dwayne can give her a horoscope.
Awesome.
Awesome. So get her information, but what I'd like to do first is kind of do a check-in like I normally do with just sort of a general tap into the next month, and then I will give a personal reading for Margaret. So let me just pull some cards here. I'm actually pulling from, this is a new deck to me, Fantome Tarot. I love it. It's shiny and fancy, and it's got a couple of extra cards in there. Ooh, I say this as I drop the card.
And she's texting in from Scotland.
Oh, from
Ooh.
Scotland. That's so fun. I love it. I don't think I've ever had a client or a follower from Scotland that I've been aware of. So that's really cool.
No, when
Yeah.
we were doing Demystify, you had people from the UK, you had a guy from Australia,
Oh
you
yeah.
had people from England. And if you don't know the difference between UK and England people, I can't help you. Uh, you've had someone from Ireland, and now
Okay.
we've got Scotland.
All right. Well, that's awesome. So, Margaret, I'm going to do a general reading for everyone, and then I'm going to get to your reading in particular. So, the reading for all of us for the month of September, and this has been coming up for me personally a lot, is this King of Swords energy. And King of Swords is the realm of mind, mental energy, intellect, the intuition, the thoughtful planning that goes into something, also confidence in your choices. And I feel like this month, as we're kind of heading into September, there kind of like what Dwayne was talking about. We are moving more into the structure, the order, the routine. And while I like to say it's important to be flexible within a particular routine, and it's important to I want to say not be like overly rigid, like have a plan, but then, understand that if something comes up and maybe sullies that plan, don't see it as being thwarted. Instead, see it as the universe is presenting something to you that is going to work better, work more in your favor. So I feel like this month we're really coming into a lot of phases and cycles that are designed to help people with new beginnings, fresh starts. And I do believe that we are all collectively heading into sort of a new beginning or a fresh start energy. And so we're kind of in that messy middle right now. I believe August was that month that kind of gave us a bit of a reset. And September is now the month to really give consideration to how you want to lean into that. But I feel like with this King of Swords energy, it's important for everyone to step into your confidence. And okay, so a lot of people don't like this saying. This saying saved my life and saved my ass on more than one occasions. I'm going to say it, fake it till you make it. King of Swords says, listen, borrow my confidence. I'm not overly confident. I'm not conceited in my confidence. I'm just recognizing that I've done the work. I've done the homework. I've taken the necessary steps. So if something happens to knock me a little bit off course, I can trust and know that that is the universe that's helping me out, not trying to knock me down and take me out. I also feel like King of Swords is saying, borrow not only my confidence, but borrow my, not efficiency, my capability. Borrow my capability as well. Confidence and capability. And what does that mean? Sometimes we lack confidence because we don't feel that we are capable of following through with an act, or we don't feel capable of being successful at something that we're trying out, something that we're stepping into. And I feel like King of Swords says, listen, I wear the crown. I've got that sovereign energy. I've done the work. I trust my advisors. No, not everything is always going to go tickety-boo according to plan, but that doesn't mean that it's a failure either. It means we have a good, solid foundation, and now let's be present in our moment right now, connected to our body so that we can receive the intuition that may or may not be required if there is a major shift that shows up in our lives, or if we need to course correct in our lives, because that's really what it's all about. It's not worrying about the what ifs and getting stuck in the future. And it's definitely not connecting ourselves to the past. It's disconnection from the past and standing firmly in what we've got going on today. So from that, I want to say from that perspective, capacity and confidence also lends itself to being present in the body so that you can receive the intuition, those intuitive nudges to be able to move forward in whatever way is going to work best for you. So that's a really positive message. And I feel like it's also saying to us on that collective level that we also need to own our sovereignty. We need to understand that we get to choose the life that we live. And no, we don't always get to choose the interesting twists and turns that cross our paths, but we get to choose how we engage with that and engage with those twists and turns. And it's that energy that creates the experience that we're having. And September is an opportunity to really create the experience. Either you're creating the environment through which that experience can occur because you're bringing some order and structure to the environment. You're making space for that new thing to come in. Or you're saying, it's time to enact what I've already got planned. Let me take a step or two towards that and see what happens. So Dwayne had mentioned about things slowing down a little bit. I actually feel that there's going to be more momentum, but where it's the way I'm kind of interpreting or feeling that slowdown is it's not going to be so chaotic where you've got 57,000 things coming at you from all different directions. It's more now that you can streamline your focus onto the path that you've chosen because you're in the process of creating that space for it to be able to happen organically in your life. So that feels really important. All right, Margaret, I am going to pull a card for you. Actually, I'm going to pull a tarot and an oracle card for you because I made you wait. And I'm sorry about that. I just wanted to kind of get that general reading out there because sometimes what happens is if I don't get the general reading out and then I'm reading for everyone else, the general reading sort of gets lost in the sauce. Okay, so you've got 5 of Wands. this month for you, Margaret, it's important to really get clear on what your priorities are. I see two people in your world, in your scope, in your orbit, that are going to be requiring a lot. And they naturally, normally lean on you for that. And this is a month where I feel like, on the one hand, you want to help, you want to support, you want to, show up and do your part. On the other hand, there's a part of you that's saying, kind of like what I was feeling. So, hands up, high five to you, because I feel like we're both a little bit in the same boat, that we're both really tired. And I feel like for you, this Five of Wands is saying part of that tiredness is that you're giving too much. You're putting too much out there. You've got a lot of people who are counting on you, relying on you, expecting of you. So it's important that you have your priorities straight so that you're included in all the things that you are doing. Five of Wands also indicates that there can be some strife, some difficulty in what I keep hearing is an approach. And this feels like it's work related. So you might have an idea of, okay, well, this is the approach. This is the plan. I know this is going to work. And I'll just use this as the analogy. Your boss comes in and you got a boss that thinks they know better, or that is a micromanager and says, well, but if you do it that way, then I can't do this or this or this. So I want you to do it this way instead. And often when you run into that, you're running into people who, they don't know how to be flexible in allowing another person's process. They get nervous, so they have to control it all. And I feel like for you, what I keep hearing is hands off, speak your truth, document it to make sure that, this was the path that you were originally going to take. This was the work that you did to make that happen. Here's why you feel that it's the right path. You've been, superseded on that. And so you're going to do it this way. And that way, when it takes you twice as long to do it, or when something goes south and it doesn't produce the results that it needs to produce, you can come back and say, and that's because someone else stepped into the mix here and thought they knew better. So understand that it's not about you getting involved in the conflict. It's about you recognizing, I'm going to speak my truth, and then I'm going to sit back and I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to do what you've asked me to do, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. I might not like, that you're having me do it in this way, but I'm going to do it in this way. And wherever the chips fall, I'm still getting paid at the end of the day. And I feel like that's really important for you, because if you get overly involved, if you fight for your way, I feel like it's going to go badly. So speak your truth and allow whatever happens to happen, and trust that what's going to show up is actually going to help you in the long run, because it's going to set up a precedent moving forward for more trust in your space. And one final card for you here, we've got the Field of Dreams, and this is a 21. 21 is creativity. 2 plus 1 is 3. So numerologically, it's a 3, which is creative energy, creative flow, collaboration. What I'm feeling here is there are two aspects of you. I feel you've been kind of warring within yourself. This feels like a personal journey, in inside job. You've been warring with yourself about an issue, and it feels like something personal, something that you're like, I wish I didn't say that, or I wish I could do something slightly different, or why did I go ahead and, jump into that same cycle again? I know better, and now I've got to deal with this again. What I keep hearing here is, when we've got this Field of Dreams, it's understanding that there's no point in beating yourself up. You're moving into a singular school of thought, and that the more scattered you are, the less you're going to be in the Field of Dreams. It's like paying attention to what it is that you're actually trying to manifest. Focus on the vision. And how interesting that the Five of Wands is also about focus. So I feel like the big message is, what are you focusing on this month? I hope that makes some sense to you. And I do feel like it's going to be a good month for you. There are going to be some bumps in the road, but I just want to say, you got this. You got this.
All
Um,
right.
Jocelyn, Jacqueline loves the cards. She said beautiful cards.
Good.
Uh,
Yeah. I think they're so pretty. Such a beautiful color, and they got a little bit of sheen to them. They're fun.
and Margaret says, "Thank you. I understand." So everyone who's watching on Facebook, I'm watching the Facebook feed because it's not connecting to the live, so I'm doing it manually. All right. So since she's our first and she's from Scotland, Dwayne, we're going to treat her special. Her birthday is, I've got to scroll back up, is April 14th.
Ooh, Aries. We always get a lot of Aries for
Mhm.
some
Yeah.
reason. Well, Margaret, September is all about energy for Aries. You're going to have all kinds of great energy. Mars is your ruling planet and it's moving through Libra. So you are going to feel like a strong balance or desire to balance relationships and have your needs asserted as well. So focus on collaborative things and beware of any impulsive decisions you might have around the 16th when Mars and Pluto kind of stir up power struggles. You might see that happening, and that could be, personal, that could be work, but it's going to kind of surround. The best thing for you to do as a fire sign is to get yourself one of those tiny little waterfalls from like CVS or something and have the sound of water. If you don't feel like going to CVS, then you can just put on YouTube of a waterfall, have the sound of water, and it will actually calm all of this stuff. Also, beware of your head. It could be a time where your head the Aries head is the ruling body part, and it's your weakest and strongest point. And so, around the middle of the month, you want to watch out for head possible things that could happen to your head. And I want to look at my list of stuff that's happening in September astrologically because, we have the new moon in Virgo on the 8th. And that's going to be a really good time for you too, as long as you keep in mind about those power struggles and things that are on their way up. If you're looking for love, this is the time to do it. If you've been thinking about should I put my picture and information on this dating site, now is the time to do it. If you haven't been thinking about that, you may be thinking about a new job or new career. This is the time to start really putting the feelers out for that. And when it comes to family and friends and all of that kind of stuff, this is the month to reconnect. So anybody that you've been thinking, I really wish I could talk to them again or see them again, reach out. You put the first step forward, and a lot more will come back to you. And the last thing I'll say is, Aries, your best bet for any cure of anything, headache, whatever, is sex. So have as much sex as possible. And don't have that boring old normal missionary sex. I want you standing on your head. Be careful though. Put pillows down or something, because like I said, you have to be careful, but don't let it stop you from standing on your head and having sex. All right. So
I want
that,
to be an Aries now. Let me be an Aries. I'll take that.
Oh, two things. Number one is the fact that Margaret says she loves water, loves the sound of water, so that's great. Jacqueline says it's very calming. You told her to be conscious of the head and everything around your head, so I love how you told her, I want you standing on your head, but have pillows around, because you
yeah.
brought it back to be controlling about the head. Wow, that is crazy. And Jacqueline says, "Wahoo!" Look, we'll give you sex advice on here.
Yeah.
Margaret says my kids are watching. Dwayne, Margaret says my kids are watching.
Oh, boy.
You just
Oh,
traumatized their kids.
Oh,
Margaret, so sorry. This is the show where we're quite irreverent. So
well, and now you don't have to do that talk with them. You want me to finish it off?
No, we don't
Listen,
want you
kids,
to finish it off. No, no,
people have
no,
sex.
no. We'll let Margaret handle the conversations with their kids. I don't know how old her kids are,
Hey, I've
but
seen more
hopefully.
sex at the zoo than I've ever seen on.
Well, you know what? They probably aren't going to be that bad off, Dwayne, because as we discussed on their shows, the U.S. is backwards compared to Europe and the rest of the world.
yes.
In European countries, they will show sexual things and explain sex at a younger age,
Yeah.
but they won't allow you to see murder. They're not going to show an 8-year-old Halloween where someone's getting stabbed 32 times, but they'll show sex. Whereas in America,
It's
we'll
the
show you all the
opposite.
murder and shooting, but don't you show them a boob.
Well,
Yeah.
and you
Don't
know
you
what
do
else?
it.
You know what else? I heard that over the last 10 years, the population has sunk so much and that sex is actually on a slope
On the
that young
decline.
people do not want to have sex anymore. So we better start getting them going.
Well, that must be a heterosexual problem because
Protection,
we're
protection,
not
protection. For anyone
that,
who's
Yeah.
young and watching this, protect yourselves.
Yeah.
Just protect
that must
yourselves.
be a heterosexual problem because we can't get pregnant, so we're not worried about not having sex. We have as much sex on this side of the fence as possible. Um,
So
so,
now we've said sex 40 times.
so
We're so sorry to
Jacqueline,
all the families watching together.
yes, we've
Poor
never
Margaret,
claimed.
she's like, I'm never going to tune into this show again. What was I thinking?
But the kids will be on.
Oh my God, she said her kids are in their 30s and 40s, so I think we
Oh,
might have.
Oh,
okay,
good.
okay.
Oh,
I
good.
don't
Thank
feel
you.
so bad now. I went into panic mode.
You know, uh, besides
Oh,
having
well,
sex with someone with
fuck
an
them then.
accent, besides having sex with someone with an accent is an absolute turn on. Let's move on. Okay,
Well, I do
so
want to make one more comment, not
yeah,
about sex, but also about the Aries. And when you were talking about, protecting the head as well, I think it's really interesting that we also got that King of Swords. And King of Swords is the realm of the mind, things that go
Oh,
on in our heads, right? The thought process as
you
well.
see,
So
that is so Aries.
physical, like pay attention to your physical stuff, Aries, but also pay attention to your emotional state and your
And I
emotional
think it's
health.
weird, ironically, that that was my nickname in high school, the King of Swords.
Was
oh,
it
I thought
really?
No, no,
Oh,
no.
no, it was the king of head, but
I was the head
oh
executive.
boy. Oh boy. All right, let's move on. Let's move
All
all
on.
right.
right.
It always
So
comes
let's
back to
see.
sex.
Hey, Jacqueline's going to do something different today. We're going to do a horoscope for her husband, Tim, who was
Ooh.
in August 4th, baby.
Ooh, a
August 4th.
Leo.
So the husband, Tim.
That's awesome.
Happy
Leo.
birthday to Tim,
Go
belated.
ahead. You want to go, Stacy?
No, you go first.
No, you're going first, and yeah, you're going first.
Ah,
All right.
okay. Well, Leo, this month, September, is all about expanding your horizons. Travel, education, all of these things, anything that you want, something to learn, going somewhere, a trip. Venus is in your sign till the 16th, which brings charm, magnetism, and so it makes it an ideal time for socializing and romance. So it's party time for you, in the way of making sure that all of your needs are met and that the things that you want to experience and or learn, are all at your fingertips. So all you have to do is put that step out there, and you'll see that that social aspect is going to have something to do with it. So, for instance, let's say you take a cooking class. The cooking might not be the most fun part. It might be all the people that you meet in the class and end up having conversations with and laughing with and maybe even making lifelong friends with. So it's not the activity or the trip or the thing itself, it's what happens as a result of it. So keep that social aspect in mind. And unless you are a recovering alcoholic, have a few drinks and have a good time. Don't get too serious with anything. Have a good time in the way of that you normally would, like during your birthday in August, or July. That high level partying. This is more of a like a social, very middle of the road kind of party. A drink or two, a cooking class, this or that. So have a great time. I think it's going to be really good for all of us, but Leos and all the fire signs are really going to be feeling it. Because as you can imagine, that Earth and air, we go Virgo and Libra. That's a really great thing. It's kind of like stability and then fun. It's practicality and then romance and flightiness. It's everything that we could ask for, both sides of the spectrum. So I think it's going to be a really good time.
I love that. That's awesome. All right, so do I do a reading for Tim as well? Pulling cards?
No, we're gonna do a reading for Jennifer,
Jennifer.
uh,
Okay.
and her birthday is May. Hold on, darn it, I lost it. I love how it's not connecting to all of the sites, so I have to look manually. May 9th, but we're gonna do a
All right, Taurus.
yeah, we're gonna do a reading for Jennifer for May 9th.
All
All
right. Well,
right.
I've pulled two cards for you, Jennifer. And I was going to pull an oracle, but two cards in the tarot came out for you. So we're going to start with the first one, which is the Temperance card. And I feel like for you, Jennifer, and knowing that you're a Taurus, this is interesting as well. Temperance is about balance, patience, tolerance, acceptance. Taurians like this kind of thing because it's stable and secure. And I feel like September is going to bring about a lot of this energy. In fact, I feel like this month might be one of your favorite months of the year, and just a favorite month. Like you'll look back on this and say, yeah, that was a really great time. In general, I remember a lot of this because I feel like the seeds that you have planted in the past, connecting to your own, I want to say like your own center of gravity, they're now coming to fruition. And the Temperance card is coming through to say, okay, you're going to reap your rewards, but you're going to do it in a kind of a steady eddy way. And that's exactly how Taurians love to experience it. Temperance also is a card of alchemy. And of course, I talk a lot about alchemy because it's all about the phoenix, the fiery energy, the transformation, the shift. And I feel like this is a month where, again, you're reaping the rewards of the seeds that have been sown. You're starting to witness the alchemy. You're starting to witness the shifts and the changes in what you are starting to create, or what is coming up, what is growing as a result of what you sort of put into the ground, what you started to create and visualize. So September feels like a very exciting month for you, in that you're going to see and start reaping the rewards of the work that you have put into the mix. That's nice. And this particular card as well, I think it's interesting. In the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot, she's got 1 foot on land and 1 foot in the water. In this depiction, she's got 1 foot in the seashell and 1 foot in the water. So I feel like she's basically saying, I'm open to receiving the psychic information, and I'm also fine with dabbling a little bit into my emotional space, not from a place of being completely out of control with my emotions, but more from the perspective of, I know that when I feel a certain thing in a certain type of way about a thought, I manifest it. So I'm using it to my advantage. I feel a lot of awareness for you this month. Awareness of your thoughts, awareness of the way the world works, awareness of the way the universe wants to provide. So you're really present this month. And
Hold on, Stacy. Stacy,
yeah,
can you put that card back up?
okay.
So this is crazy. And now, guys, I don't give Stacy any information. Jennifer's my friend. She just built a business that's opening in September. It's a foot spa, and this lady's foot is in the water.
Oh my
And
God.
everything we've been talking about in September relates to what's happening,
I
which is
love it.
insane.
That's
Isn't it
awesome.
amazing? It's amazing.
What a tangible physical validation that she's on the right path. I love that. So your second card, Jennifer, is the Knight of Swords. And I think it's interesting that we pulled the Knight of Swords for you, when for the general us, the general collective, we've got the King of Swords. The Knight of Swords is saying to you, be cautious about jumping into things when people are putting pressure on you to do so. And this makes a lot of sense, actually, with that information that Keone just shared, that you're opening up a business. So I can relate. I know what it's like opening up a business. There's so much coming at you. There are so many different, balls that you have to juggle in the air. It's the same kind of thing with my move, right? So I'm right there with you. And there are going to be people at the last minute that are going to say, oh, but I need this. Oh, but I need that. Or I can't show up with this. Or I promised this, but it's not coming until later, and blah, 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 blah. What I'm hearing is it's really important for you to get into that core space. We were kind of mentioning that with the Temperance card. Getting into that core space It's not that I'm saying to you, don't listen to anybody around you. What I feel like is listen, take it in, and see if it resonates with you. But at the end of the day, don't make any rash choices or rash decisions. When you've got, and I know how this is, you get 3 or 4 people coming at you all at once and they all need an answer now. Pause, breathe, take each person one at a time. Even if, everyone's like, but I need it now, I need it now, I need it now. No, you don't. You can wait the 30 seconds or the 2 minutes or the 10 minutes that I need to address this, and I will get to you, in a moment. So I feel like for you, the Knight of Swords is cautionary. It's saying be responsive rather than reactive. And the best way to do that is to know at your core what your mission is. What's the whole purpose behind it, right? What's my reason? What's my why? Going back to that is going to help you in those moments of chaos where other people are putting pressure on you to come up with an answer. This will allow you to stand true in your core space. I feel like you're going to have a very successful grand opening. I feel there's going to be a little bit of a hiccup the third week of September. It feels kind of like something doesn't come in on time, or like it's like the focal point of whatever this is, you don't have enough of that thing. What I keep hearing is borrow, make do, borrow whatever it is that you need to get by for that 2 or 3 days that you're without whatever. It's going to be okay. You'll figure it out. Everything is gonna flow and gonna work, and nobody's going to notice the difference. So remind yourself of that. I feel like you like everything, like me, you're a little perfectionistic. So you like everything to be perfect. I's dotted, T's crossed. I want to say just really be in flow. You've done all the work. Now allow the universe to show you and to work the magic and to show you all that is going to happen as a result. And good luck. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, she's a little crazy. This is her 4th business she'll be running simultaneously. So God bless her.
Wow.
All right. Well, let me get back to this. So, a little update on things that have been said in the chat. Stacy, beautiful shirt by Jacqueline. She said that
Thank
color
you.
fits you.
I was thinking that too. That's the Gemini color.
It's a $9 Target tank top.
Yeah, that's the Gemini power color, and you're Gemini rising, so it works perfect.
Yeah, Gemini moon. Yeah, Gemini moon.
Yeah.
I missed the joke from Margaret earlier. I won't go back into it because we'll get back into that talk again. But it was a funny joke, Margaret. You are correct. That was funny. I love in the horoscopes that people are taking certain parts and saying this is me and the other part is someone else. So this is hilarious. And then, so Dwayne, for you, we have Patsy Carey. She comes to us from Stacy's Facebook. God bless Stacy's Facebook.
Yeah.
I love my I hate to use the word followers. I love my tribe. I love my people. Yes, I love my people.
It's really weird on here. One week we have way more YouTube people on here. I mean, 1 month, and then like last month was heavy YouTube people, and then the month before that was heavy Facebook people. So hey, but we'll take who we get, right?
Yeah.
So Patsy is 8'6". We got August people in the house.
A lot of Leos. Yeah.
A lot of Leos.
I hear we do well in prisons too. So I just want to now, I kind of already mentioned, about the Leos with the earlier reading, but it really is all about, with the Sun in Virgo highlighting your travel and education area. It's about figuring out what do you want to do and making it happen. It's really a great time for socializing and romance. So it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for romance, once again, this is a good time to kind of look toward that. Now, Leo, your power color is gold. The power color for right now with Virgo is white. And then when we go into Libra, it's green. So for you, the Leo, you might want to think about wearing a lot of gold and white. Gold and white together for you is going to be really powerful. On the 6th, I think it is, no, is it? Let me look real quick. Is it the full moon in Pisces on the 22nd? Is all about emotions, intuition, and those types of things, spirituality, creativity. So between now and the 22nd, it's all about what do you want to happen? Do you want to take that class? Do you want to take that trip? And then around the 22nd, it's going to be more of a time to, and even it could be, you might be on that trip, you might be in that class. Again, like I said earlier, it's not going to be about what that thing is specifically, but be about the journey or the actual practice of it, and the connections that you make. At that time, the 22nd, there could be a really profound connection for you. So keep your eyes out for that, and your intuition will really pick up on something around the 22nd, 23rd. Um, and also, again, it's time to do, have that party kind of mode, but on a mellow kind of level. So make sure that you're having a good time and just keep up the positivity. For Leos, it's really important to stay positive, and to let people see you shine. Because when you're not shining and you're dull and you're depressed and you're sad, it's like the sun goes out. So it's really important to stay up. I hope that helps you. I hope that gives you some thoughts about your upcoming month.
I have a comment and a suggestion, which I think is a very good suggestion from the audience. The comment
Mhm.
was, I love how this is at the end of the month and we kind of talk about what I need to be doing the next month, getting people
Yeah.
prepared. But someone said, could we also, when we start the show, recap what what we should have been doing the month that's ending, so they can kind of go down the checklist like, oh, that's why it didn't work out. I didn't do this. I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I know it can be kind of hard because you guys go on intuition a lot, and it happened 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But if
Well,
we
it's
can,
also a good argument for go and check out the previous episode before you watch the new one, and then you'll be able to really understand where we're coming from. Because, like you
yeah,
said, Keone, we do work off of intuition, and we do kind of like get blown away when we figure out that we said something the month before, and
And then it's
like
really there.
when Stacy and I do the quarterlies, that happens a lot. Like we look back at the
Yeah.
previous quarterly and we're like, "Oh my god, that was so right on."
I don't
Yeah.
want to talk about things that I'm not a part of. I'm still salty about that. So that's true.
Why?
And you know what I'll do? And so everyone who's watching, when you go and watch on YouTube, this Facebook people, you have the link to the YouTube. Once the video ends, it will add a video suggestion, and I'll try to put last month's episode in
Yeah.
there so you can go back and look at it,
That would
or
be
I'll do a
great.
redirect or something. That's cool. What's something in September? What are you two looking forward to in September?
Well, actually, I was just going to say, I was going to kind of ad lib here and ask Dwayne if you'd be willing to give me a reading on this particular issue. I will be flying. I didn't plan this very well. I will be flying on the 17th with my three fur babies and my mother
Oh God.
to Arizona, and it's not a direct flight. It's actually going to
Oh,
be a full day excursion, and we're flying out on the full moon, the 17th.
I can give you a reading for that, and I'm not even a psychic. You're flying
So
with your
I was
three fur
hoping that
babies.
you might be able to give me some pointers, some tips, and maybe a little bit of hope for how this is all going to play out. And I do have hope, but
Yeah,
yeah, if you're open to that, I would love that.
yeah,
Yeah,
Dwayne.
and actually,
Because
the full moon isn't until the 22nd, and it's in Pisces. The
Really?
Saturn, yeah, on the 17th, you've got Saturn opposition Sun, which is like, it's about challenging aspects, where Saturn in Pisces opposes the Sun in Virgo, potentially bringing obstacles and things that really require careful attention. So it's about addressing issues of discipline and structure. So your best bet is to try to pre-plan as much of every detail of this as you can. So if there's going to be a car pickup, if there's going to be this or that, don't do I'm going to wait to call Uber to get there. I'm going to, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
all about pre-planning, especially in this time of Virgo, which is it's one of your superpowers. So just put your superpower into action and make sure that you plan it to within an inch of its life, and then you
Right.
won't have any issues.
Which I actually have done, but I am curious. So I follow this app.
Yeah,
It's the moon. It's called the Moon. What's it called? Moon Plus.
yeah.
And it's saying that the full moon is on the 17th. So is it
Ooh.
possible that maybe you deal with a different type of astrology? I know there's Western astrology, modern astrology,
Uh,
Vedic astrology.
I just look everything up. Let me look again. Let's just look it up live here and see. September 2024 full moon dates. Uh, and that's saying the 18th. So we have 17th, 18th, and 22nd.
Yeah, that's really strange because it says here, according to mine, full moon is on September 17th at 10:35 p.m. So it is later in the day. The moon set is the moon rise is 7:14 p.m. The moon set is 6:13 a.m.
Hmm.
I'm getting the 20th. What in the
Yeah, there's
world?
all different dates online. So I have to really make sure that I get my information from a reputable source, because maybe it's just some 12-year-old telling us when it is in their
Yeah, that's
basement.
just so strange. That's very
Yeah.
strange. Let me look it
Well, if
up.
you want, I'll give you a full
Google
moon
it.
right
I'm
now,
gonna
honey.
doubt Google and see what Google has to say.
I'll give you a
When
full
is
moon
the
right
full
now.
moon in September of
Oh,
2024?
my fucking joke got bled out.
Oh,
Yeah, it says Tuesday, September 17th, 10:34 p.m. Eastern Standard. It's called the corn moon.
Hmm.
And for much of the world, it will also bring a partial lunar eclipse,
Ooh.
which I
Well,
think is fun.
yeah,
Everybody gets nervous about eclipses. I actually
you know
like
what I
the
do?
eclipses.
I'm looking on the NASA website because if NASA can't tell us
yeah.
if it's
Right,
wrong, if it's wrong on the NASA site, then I'm worried.
right.
Um,
What does NASA say?
That's what I'm looking, but I have to read through all the scientific jargon. And you know how you look for a question? It's all, the internet's starting to get like a book. Remember when we had to go to the library and read 55 chapters to get the one answer we're looking
Yeah.
for? You used to be able to just Google and get your answer. Now people will have the question, and then when you click on it, they have like this whole article of other stuff they want to talk about before they get to your answer.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like,
Or you get what I've noticed now is you get the AI response, then you get like 50 sponsored
yeah, the
ad
AI response
sites,
comes
and
first.
then you get the answer. So you have to really be savvy about what you're searching. And
That's going to be the
yeah,
next thing then. Somebody's going to invent a place to go where everything's just very simple and easy. Maybe we should
Yeah,
do.
I was
Maybe
that
just
was
going to
it
say, what a
was
great idea. Let's get on
it,
that.
it was called Google, but the problem is you can start it off as simple as you want, but once the money starts coming to you, you
Yeah.
gotta. I mean, it's either hey, now let's turn our site into a multi-million-dollar making site, or we just keep scrounging for donations and keeping our information.
Right.
Well,
So you
luckily, I have no need for money. I live on love.
oh my god,
Oh, aren't you
you know what?
lucky?
You know what? Well, the last time I went to a restaurant and tried to pay with love, I got kicked out.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna say
yeah,
I pay with love too, but love is the tip.
yeah. Whoa.
Just the
Okay,
tip.
Stacy, we're gonna move on.
Just the tip.
Of course, you guys would go there. Of course, I just walked right into that, thinking completely
You,
innocently that that would not lead to some kind of sexual
you know what,
innuendo. But there we are.
That was for
Stacy?
Margaret's kids.
Stacy, in our defense, we thought you were setting us up on. We thought that was a layup for us. We thought you were
Yeah,
throwing it in there.
with me, there's never really a setup. I don't know how to do that. So I just am. It comes out of my mouth, whatever it is, and whatever you guys do with that, that's on you.
Well, hey, I like
Margaret,
the past
Margaret
when you
said,
said
Margaret
juggling
said she
balls
was,
earlier.
Margaret said she was thinking something, but she won't say it. Margaret, I'm going to tell you from Dwayne and me. Next time, just say it. From Stacy, she says, "Be calculated. Make sure it works." Okay. Um, I'm going to do something we do from time to time because as you two know, not the audience, that I'm planning to get the heck out of North Carolina, just like Stacy has. I'm going to be closer to her. I'm planning on moving to Vegas. So, but right
Desert
now I'm
dwellers.
kind of up in the air on the length of time it's going to take. Because right now it could be as early as the end of December, between the end of December and June. So there's a lot of decisions that I won't bore you guys for 30 minutes going through what's going to determine that. But it's going to be a big move because I am feeling like it's going to be my last move. I've lived in Florida, South Carolina, Georgia, Texas, Missouri, and I think this is where I'm going to settle for at least the next 2 decades. So you know, Dwayne, my birthday is June 8th. Stacy, there's my information. Whoever wants to tell me something, go right ahead.
Let's see. I'm going to find out what sign Las Vegas, Nevada is.
And Margaret loved that. Oh yeah, that's right. For everybody who just heard Dwayne said, I'm trying to figure out what sign Las Vegas is. Dwayne said horoscopes are also attached to cities and states, right?
Hmm.
Which I
Yeah.
think is really cool.
Yeah, and does that have to do with what month and
Really
day
founded.
that it was founded?
Yeah. It's a Taurus. Vegas is a Taurus.
Oh,
And
cool.
yeah, and that's really good. So we think about Gemini and Taurus. Um, that's a good connection. That's like a lot of energy, a lot of practicality too, a lot of home. That actually, if since May and Taurus came up, that means home. That means like comfortability in your home, in your dwelling. It means business savvy. And the good life, fun and excitement. So to me, it seems like it would be a great move for you.
Okay, that,
So I
that's
pulled a card for you, and I pulled
mhm,
the Judgment card, and the
mm,
Judgment card is Libra.
Mm,
So we're talking like end of September into October. I don't know that it's going to happen like this year necessarily, but it could be that you're moving into that by the end of next year, or that you're in the desert by the end of next year. I also pulled a Four of Cups, and I'm just going to look up what Four of Cups, what astrological sign it's associated with.
the water sign. Would that be Libra too? No, no, no. That's water. That's air. Is it
Cancer.
Cancer.
So if we look at that, and I actually pulled the Four of Cups first. So if we look at that, I want to say it's kind of between Cancer season and Libra season that everything's going to start to happen. I feel like for you, it's going to be what I'm going through right now. That's going to be you next year.
mm,
So take that for what it's worth. As I always like to say to everyone, and this is really important for everyone to hear me out on this, don't get too hung up on timing, because our timing and divine timing are often two different things. And we're also very much about free will. So, and I always say this with all of my clients, take what works for you, leave the rest behind. If you hear something in your session and you're like, I don't like the sound of that, I don't like how that's going to, that outcome that's going to present itself, then make a different choice. Work towards, okay, if you want to be out by the end of the year, then what steps do you need to take to make that happen, right?
mm,
Because you can always shift those things up, but don't get too hung up on the timing.
mm,
I feel like what we've just got for you here is a bit of a range
mm.
of where things are going to start to actually move. When were you thinking of moving? You wanted to move by the end of the
It's
year?
either gonna be the end of the year or June of next year. So it's in between or any time in between.
Well, and isn't
Um,
that interesting, because Cancer is June, right? June into July.
yeah, yeah. Because I might be moving directly to Vegas, or I may be moving to where my friend is opening the spa, and I might be running it for a year and then moving it to Vegas. So I might have a detour.
Got
And
it.
So
and that is Taurus, a spa. That's beauty, elegance, that type of stuff. I
Yeah.
think it sounds. And what you should do is put on some turquoise, like Stacy
mhm.
has on, and start looking at places, houses, and apartments.
Turquoise and teal is my two favorite colors. Turquoise and teal.
See? So
Wow. That's
Yeah.
turquoise will give you that power and start looking for houses or a place to live, even just
Mhm.
to start that energy going, and it'll help you.
I'm going to shut up about me because we only have 6 minutes and I have some interesting stuff. So I asked in the chat, who would love to hear what their city or state sign is? So we've
Ooh.
got two. Jacqueline wants to know, what is Pennsylvania?
Ah, Pennsylvania. Let's see. When was Pennsylvania founded? Oh, it's a Pisces, March 4th, 1681.
Ooh.
Hmm.
And that makes sense. There's a lot of music happening there. There's a lot of beauty and color. There's a lot of emotion, a lot of intuitive
Dreamers. Dreamers.
dream. Yeah,
The big dream. Yeah.
yeah. Mountains. So you have the ups and downs.
Jacqueline, Jacqueline and Margaret are bonding because Jacqueline says most of her DNA is Scottish, so now they're bonding. But
Ah,
Margaret wants to know, do you see a horoscope for Glasgow, Scotland?
Ooh, yeah. Let's see. When was Glasgow? Glasgow, Scotland.
And then we have one horoscope left, but I want to get these states and cities out of the way.
Oh, it was in the 6th century, so we don't even know what
ooh.
exact. We don't know the exact establishment,
That's right.
unfortunately.
And yeah.
But I
All
would
right.
think it'd be an Aries because it has that Aries kind of feel to it.
Okay. And they don't fight as much as Irish people. So, Colorado.
Ooh, Colorado. Let's see. When was Colorado? It's easier with United States because we're so
Mhm.
young. Oh, August 1st. Colorado is a Leo.
Oh,
Oh,
Leo.
wow.
Fun.
That
Yeah.
makes sense too.
Why does that make sense?
Because Colorado, you think of it as being like open, free.
Mhm.
The idea of Denver and all that stuff is about community and socializing and all of that. It's crisp, clean air. It's like skiing and all that kind of social stuff, and that's all Leo. You
They
know,
also have
so,
like a little bit of the red rock in them
yeah,
too.
Red Rock too.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was. I went there last year. It was amazing, and the energy. And that Red Rock is where shows happen, concerts and all that. And that's what
Yeah.
Leo is all about: performance, excitement, music, rock and roll. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah. I loved going there. I loved Red Rock Theater
Yeah.
Amphitheater. That was amazing. What's Phoenix, Arizona's
Ooh, yeah. Let's
astrological
do
sign?
that. When was Phoenix founded? Once
I've
again,
got a
though.
comment. This is fun. I didn't know that places had horoscopes.
Yeah. What a cool discovery.
And when he reads them, it kind of makes sense to the place that you're at. Because when he read it for here, I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Phoenix was founded. It says 20 years later, but it doesn't say the exact date. Let me see. When was Phoenix founded exactly? Generating. It just says 1867. There's got to be a date. Phoenix was settled in 1867. Date. And try what date? Ah, May 4th. It's a Taurus.
Oh, very
Oh.
cool.
Yeah.
So it's tarot card is the Hierophant.
Yeah. And that makes sense because also there you've got spirituality, all of that
Yes.
energy and all that stuff, but it has that Southwest feel, and
Yeah.
that's very Taurus. Like that is home and comfort and cozy and
Yeah.
fires and drinks.
Fires, exactly. I
We
love
got the we got the YouTube crowd rolling in late. Where were you, YouTube crowd? All the Facebook people beat you here. You're at the end of the show. So we've got YouTube people chiming in now. St. George, Utah.
Ooh, let's see.
Lori, are you asking that as a question, or are you telling us countries have horoscopes as well? I think the thing is, Lori, that they all do, but the problem is some of them that were established, eons ago. There's no exact date. It's like a year, and that's it.
Let's see.
Colorado was a leader.
Oh, it's in Aquarius, January 17th.
Oh,
St. George,
cool.
Utah is an Aquarius. What does that mean for St. George, Utah?
So Aquarius is all about forward thinking, modernity, getting people coming together. Aquarius doesn't understand why people with different races or sexes or whatever can't get along. And they're all about artistic interests, modern artist kind of stuff. What else? Oh, they would be more like they don't like things to be very regimented and like one thing in the middle and one thing on each side. They would bring everything to one side to make it kind of offset. So I would think that maybe St. George would be a little bit more, have a more of a modern edge to it, or more of a community aspect to it, where it brings everybody together of all races and religions and all that kind of stuff. And blue, electric blue, is the power color of Aquarius. So you might see a lot of blue, or see beautiful blue things in St. George. I don't know. I've never been there, but and also that was the founding place of the Latter Day Saints, apparently.
St.
So
George? Interesting.
yeah, part of the church's cotton mission. Brigham Young sent 309 families there to settle the area. They were chosen for their specific skills and traits to help build a long-lasting community. Oh, that's weird because that's what I was just saying. All the different people came together. St. George Temple in 1877 was the first Mormon temple in Utah, helped provide food and stability, was chartered city on January 17th. Yeah, so crazy. That's what it was all about, bringing people together.
This
And
is like
food
Stacy's favorite line. You can't make this shit up. Like
yeah,
I always, this is me and Stacy, and not to disparage or talk bad about anybody else. I always tell Stacy, it always makes me angry when I see the amount of people watching her content, and then I go on someone else's content that does the same thing she's doing, and they're doing the hokey pokey, magical nonsense, and like there's 80,000 people watching, and I'm like, this person is talking about absolutely nothing, and there's 80,000 people on the live watching it, and Stacy's giving like real, thoughtful, insightful like stuff.
yeah.
I
Some
know we're in
people
a little,
know how to play the game a little better than I do. I've
yeah,
never really been a game player, so it's hard for me to and I'm a rebel, right?
And
So
the
I'm
yeah.
like,
cream always rises to the top, so they can do all their
there you
blowharding.
go.
I know we ran a little over, but I want to get this last person in before we end. Lori Sue, because she's done some great comments on here. Her birthday is March 26th. And
Aries.
Heather says Stacy is the bestest. I love it. When you make up words, they're always better.
Yeah, Heather, you're so sweet. Thank you.
What was the birthday?
Um, March 26th.
Ah, okay, another Aries. So yeah, this is all about this next month is all about because Mars is moving through Libra, so you feel a real desire to balance things, relationships, work, that kind of stuff, and you really want to focus on collaborative efforts. You want to be careful what's going on around the 16th, because that's when Mars and Pluto kind of have these power struggle situation happen. So just keep an eye out for that. But really, it's all about getting together uh, with work colleagues, friends, whatever, what have you, and working on things together. So don't isolate is very important too. Oh, we
Sorry,
can't hear
I
you,
was
Peter.
muted. I know. I got. Give me a second before you tell the whole audience. I got
Well, I
it.
saw your lips moving.
Well, you know what, Dwayne, Stacy, me and him are gonna have words after this show.
And
You are going.
I'm gonna peace out before that happens.
I
Yeah. So
swear,
thank
I
you
was
all.
there.
Before you end, Stacy, go ahead and tell the people, especially the ones on Keone Productions YouTube who are watching you, where they can go to reach out and get in touch with you.
Yeah, so all the social, the Facebook, Insta, YouTube, the Black Feather Intuitive. Check it all out. I do a lot of stuff on YouTube. So that's kind of like my primary channel. And then I do some dailies on Insta and Facebook. And my website, theblackfeatherintuitive.com. Lots of fun stuff. I will just let everyone know that I recently released a new service, a new offering called Love Alchemy, Transform and Attract. And if you are sick and tired of being in relationships with narcissistic personalities, if you're tired of feeling always like you have to carry your partner with you. You're off to the stars and you've got a partner that's dragging their heels. If you're really just tired of finding a lack of connection in your partnerships, this is definitely a service that you want to check out. We do a very deep dive. It's a 90-minute session, my longest offering. And so far, I released it last week or the week before now. I suck at time. And I don't know if this is really an endorsement or not, but everyone who's done it has cried. And I want to say it's like I always say that, this is the story of years ago when I was an opera singer. Whenever I would come home and I would sing at my grandfather's church, I would know I did a good job if I made him cry. And of course, it's tears of joy. Like, I'm not saying I want you to cry. It's tears of joy, right? Or tears of release. But that's kind of like how I'm measuring this, is because it's hitting the mark. It's getting right to the heart of the matter. So I'm really excited to be offering this. So yeah, check it out. And there's a million other different services out there that I offer too. So if you're just looking for some regular guidance, my 30 and 60-minute readings are available as well. Would love to connect with you guys.
All right, Dwayne, take us home.
All right. Well, you can always find me at Dwayne Dunleavy anywhere. All social media, you can find me on there. I do readings as well. I do stand-up comedy shows, mostly around Philadelphia, maybe soon in Cleveland. And I hope that everybody enjoyed this episode as much as we love doing it. We always have so much fun, don't we, Stacy?
We're always giggling.
Yeah.
Stacy, Heather, wait, hold on. Stacy, Heather is asking, what was the name of it again? I think it's a service you were saying, or
Love Alchemy, Transform and Attract. Love Alchemy.
Okay, go ahead, Dwayne. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure we got that before we ended.
I'm offering my prostitution services. I don't seem to get anybody ever calling for them, but they're available. I'll tell you.
On that note, keep looking up. Bye.
Bye.